are. All right. All right, that should be live now. Solid. Cool. You go live here. Let me flip this. Flip this. There we are. There we are. Crypto Elite, what's going on? Is that working over there? Okay, that's working over there. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the stream. Another day, another stream. What's up, Adri? How are you? What is going on? What is going on? Still pissed about that Duke game from yesterday. Still pissed about that game. I lost me $300. Lost me $300. You have any thoughts on... Oh, fine, thank you. Absolutely. You have any thoughts on Dutch Bros coffee stock? We can look at it. I've actually never looked at Dutch Bros coffee stock. I think I've only had Dutch Bros coffee like maybe once. Hey, Nick, what's going on? How are you? Is that Max? What's going on, Max? How are you? We can look at Dutch Bros. We can definitely look at Dutch Bros. Let's see, let me pull it up. Give me a second, let me flip this screen here. Let's look at some Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros. I like how the stock's called Bros. That's so cool. Well, I mean, on the monthly candle, it just, from structure-wise, it kind of just looks corrective, but let's look at the weekly just to see, just to evaluate. What's up, Spar Show? Nick, what's good, my man? How are you? Almost at that $63 Robinhood target. Hood currently at 63. Yup, I knew it would eventually get to 63. It just was a matter of time before it, eventually hit 63 mark, which... Did it hit it in aftermarket? I couldn't remember. I know it was at 64 approaching 63. I wasn't sure if it had hit 63 during the day or if it was aftermarket or not. So let's see. I mean, the weekly's not giving me much, so I mean, kind of. I really don't see any clear impulse waves, to be honest. If I'm looking at this, like, the only thing that I really see is this big jump up here, but as far as like true impulsive waves, I really don't see much, to be honest. So, I mean, judging the monthly and the weekly, it kind of looks like this thing's trying to find direction, which for me, I would just kind of wait until this thing gave you, like, this right here for me is not a 1, 2, 3, 4. There's just not enough price action here to justify that being an impulse. So for me, I would just wait. I'm not really sure where this thing's going to go based on the price action we have available to us right now. Theta coin? I think I've heard of Theta coin before. Theta coin. Theta. Was it USD? Let's see. It kind of looked somewhat similar to VeChain to some extent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what is this right here? I mean, there's definitely, but that already retraced lower than that. So 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe. But monthly, let's see what the monthly looks like. Nah, maybe the daily. Maybe the daily. See, like, some of these charts, guys, are not as clear, so it's a lot harder to determine wave count when you look at these charts, which is why I say that not every stock in crypto is worth investing in, because when you look at these charts, sometimes it's really hard to decipher, like, wave. I mean, this is definitely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. I mean, maybe a 1, 2. There's really not much follow through. This one, I don't know. I mean, like, maybe, maybe this could be a wave 1 with the pullback too, but it's not really. There's not a lot of. I don't really have a lot of confidence in doing some wave structure on this one, to be honest. I am buying call 365 this week. Wait, what's call 365? How is Bitcoin? Yeah, let's start with Bitcoin. Let's start with Bitcoin because I feel like this wouldn't be, it wouldn't be right if we didn't. What is this? What is this? Oh, is that from yesterday? What is, did I click on the wrong, oh, I clicked on the wrong one. I was like, wait a second, that was from yesterday. I feel like this stream wouldn't be the stream if we don't start with Bitcoin. I feel like we always have to start with Bitcoin. I feel like that's just fair. We've started every stream for the past couple months with Bitcoin, so I feel like it's only fair to do that. But as far as like structure wise, there's really no changes to it. Let me move these lines out of the way so you can see sort of the price action with it. For me, there's really no changes. I'm just waiting for this 5-way move to develop. This being the 1, 2, waiting for the 3, 4, 5. For me, there's just not really a lot going on right now with Bitcoin. It's kind of just chopping. I'm waiting for it to, complete this movement down. I haven't allocated any funds yet to anything. But for me, I'm just waiting for this, structure to develop. So there's really no changes. We did have a nice bounce this morning and then immediately got rejected on that. And funny enough, on the 4-hour chart, I think it was the 4-hour chart. Was it the 4-hour chart? I think it was. Yeah, it was the 4-hour chart. That's right. So for me, we're kind of in a wave 5. And this was the zone I was paying attention to see if price, you might say, well, price overlapped, but it didn't. So the high of this candle is 68,109. So this high right here is 68,109. The low of this candle is 68,110. It literally missed it by 1 point. Like, if you zoom in on it, you can see it a little bit more, but this was 68,110. This was 68,109. It literally missed it by like a point. So it's not invalid. It's close, but it's not invalid. So for this was my 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm expecting a 5th wave down for that. It is kind of what it looks like on the 4-hour chart. But it was so close to invalidating. I was like, you better not fucking do it. But I'm just waiting for price action to develop really with Bitcoin. Hyperliquid. I think we looked at Hyperliquid before, but yeah, we can look at it again. Can you do SPY? Yeah, we could do SPY. Jamie said they basically all follow Bitcoin anyway. Yeah, exactly. So like for me, I'm not investing in any of the altcoins I'm looking to right now because like obviously with Bitcoin having its you use RE/green candles. I don't know what you mean. Or red green candles. Yeah. Like green meaning up and red being down. I don't understand your question. They'll about, yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin declines, right? Like every time Bitcoin goes down, say it goes down 7%, altcoins go down, could go down 10 to 20. So you got to follow the big dog first. Usually whenever Bitcoin drops, altcoins drop. So for me, once this starts dropping to my targets, that's when I'm gonna start picking up altcoins. I mean, I already have a bunch of altcoins, but I'm looking to add a couple more to my portfolio, which should be pretty good. Like I'm excited about that. Because these are great. What's up, Juicy Juice? What's going on? Hoping we keep dumping. Yeah, I mean, there's no changes. For me, this is just a 4, and we're waiting for this structure to develop to the downside, right? This whole structure. I think, again, like I was talking about earlier, where's my Forex factory? I think everything can be, yeah, so where's the week? Hold on, let me filter. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I have all the week in here. No, that's not it. Up next. No. How did I do this before? I found out a way to like get it all, like the whole week. How did I do that? Nope. Because I want to show you guys what's due. Oh, here we go. This week. Apply settings. Okay. So today, like I was saying, we had Jerome Powell spoke this morning at 10:30. So that was a red folder, which means there's a lot more volatility associated. If you guys aren't familiar with Forex Factory, it's essentially a website that you can find all. What car do you drive? What kind of question is that? What car do I drive? What does it matter what car I drive? As far as like these like folders are concerned, if it's a yellow folder, it's less relevant. Orange is semi-relevant. When you get a red folder, that typically brings volatility. Jerome Powell was kind of nothing today when he was speaking about the markets. There wasn't a lot of stuff he was talking about. But tomorrow we have GDP data tomorrow for Canada. So that's kind of a red folder, but it doesn't really affect us as much. And then you have job openings at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so it'll bring some volatility. We'll have the JOLTS job openings tomorrow at 10 a.m., which will bring volatility. And then Wednesday, we have non-farm employment data, core retail sales, and the ISM all right in the morning. So 8:15 to 10 is going to bring some volatility on Wednesday, on April Fool's Day of all days. So you're going to have JOLTS job openings tomorrow, which brings volatility. All of this retail sales, which is what the Fed uses for their gauge on cutting interest rates and inflation and everything. So you have all this stuff coming out on Wednesday. And then Thursday, you have unemployment claims, which also factors into the Fed decision making. And then on Friday, we have non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and hourly earnings month over month. So you have all of these things factored into the week, which can bring volatility to fuel a move like this. That's why I've been talking about expect more downside on Bitcoin, but also altcoins, because when Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down. And when you have extreme volatility, you get big swings to the upside, but you can also get big swings to the downside. Basically, all that means is volatility is like, it's kind of like fuel in the market. So whenever you have low volatility, you don't get really big swings up or down. But when you have higher volatility, you get big swings up and then big swings down. So expect to see some volatility this week. Do you think 4 hour will finish red? I mean, it closes in an hour. I don't really expect it to retrace all the way down to 65, but who knows? It could. How low do we expect? My next targets are 60 to 50K. 60 to 50K still being my targets. What car do you drive? He drives a Lamborghini Urus. Best question ever. Thank you, Spark, for the report. I mean, I don't know what rules crypto is getting at here about what car I drive. What does it matter? It's a car. It gets you to one place to the next. Who gives a shit? It's a freaking materialistic item. AOS, yeah, we can go to AOS for sure. Good afternoon, Nick. What's up, Mike? How are you? What website are you on? Oh, it's Forex Factory. So it's called Forex Factory. It's a free website you can use, but it gives you all the different types of economic data that's coming out. So if you hit this, you can see the whole week. You can even see the whole month if you wanted to, or next month or next week. But if you click the week and then apply, it basically just shows you all the stuff that's coming out this week. And that typically is what the Fed uses for their stuff. Hope all is well, my friend. Yeah. Doing well. I got a little bit of a headache today. The pollen's getting to me. Not going to lie, but we're here. We're showing up. Don't want to miss a stream. I see everyone saying LOL in there. Oh, man. I'm well, my friend. Good to hear. Chili's. I actually do own Chili's. We can look at Chili's. Rules Crypto said that's what poor people say. Okay. When do you like to use 4 hour daily or weekly candles? What's the different use cases when it comes to Elliott Wave Theory? It depends on your strategy and like what you're trying to do. So like obviously the lower time frame, you're going to have shorter like time horizons around it. Like if you invest, based on the hourly candle, you're probably looking to hold that for a day, maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks. But if you're investing on monthly candles, you're looking to take a position and hold it for a lot longer. So it depends on like your strategy. Elliott Wave Theory can be used on any strategy, but it's more geared towards like what time frame are you looking to do? Are you looking to swing trade? Or are you looking to invest? Typically when I use monthly time frames, weekly and daily, those are more for long-term investments. Robin said, would you look at KETA after car discussion? Yeah, we can, Robin. Absolutely. Hope you're doing well. Everyone involved in crypto drives a Bugatti. Yeah, everyone knows that. 100%. The goal is to be rich, not look rich. Drove a Skyline when poor. Now I drive a shit box now that I'm wealthier. That's how you got to do it. You got to drive the shit can so no one knows that you have money and they pull up and they're like, oh, I have so much money. Well, guess what, buddy? Check out the bank account. It's not what car you drive, it's how much you have in the bank. That's how I am. That is a philosophy I do. Again, I don't chase materialistic things. I could give a shit about a car. I really don't care. A car is a car. 100% be rich, don't look rich. A little Honda Accord. I drive a Honda Accord myself. I love a Honda Accord. Get you where you need to be. It's comfortable. It's nice. Got good gas mileage. That's all you really need. Yeah, being rich and looking poor is the way to do it. 100%. 100%. Honda Civic. Fuck yeah, we got a lot of Hondas in here. I love it. Apparently, Rules Crypto drives Lamborghini Uruses and Bugattis because he's spending all his money on cars. All right, let's go to what was it, Kita? I like how Robinson. Let's go to Kita after your car discussion. Oh man, that made me in a good mood today. All right, I think this is the you like traveling, not material possessions. 100%. Oh, Robin has seen my videos on when I went to St. Vincent and stuff. I'd rather buy experiences than materialistic things. That material items don't do it for me. Cars, houses, watches, chain. I don't give a shit about any of that. To me, it's all about an insecurity and flaunting wealth rather than actually having wealth. That's just me personally. But unfortunately, Robin, on Kita, there's really not a lot of structure to go off of if this is the correct chart that I'm supposed to be looking at. We do have this pulse up, but then we've already declined lower than here. So until we get some impulses off the low on Kita, there's really not much I can do with the chart. I don't really know about the project that much from like a fundamental standpoint or what it does. But as far as charting out the next move, we would want to see a wave 1 off of these lows, then a 2, and then I could project out a 3. But until then, this thing just is probably following Bitcoin. A lot of the altcoins, whenever Bitcoin bottoms, we'll probably see maybe a push on here. And then, you know, if people start flooding into this project, we could see some up moves. But I do think it's going to follow Bitcoin. Whenever this thing goes down, we should see some up movement. I'd expect new lows on Kita. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know what the market cap is on Kita, honestly. Like, if it's a really low market cap and Bitcoin goes down another 10 to 20%, then yeah, it's probably going to, you know, swing down some more for sure. I drove one and love it. Yeah. Honda Toyota pickup. Yo, some of those pickups, I'm trying to find maybe investing in one of those like 1990 pickups, one of those like mechanical pickups, because a lot of the new cars nowadays have all those electronic bullshit in it. It's a pain in the ass to fix it whenever you get the electronics in it. I want an old school, like, mechanical car that will just last for like 300,000 miles. Elliott Wave here. So we're heading down toward wave 3. Yeah, that's what I'm at. Is that Adam? Yeah, that's what I'm at, Adam. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, I know that there was a question about SPY. I was talking about this before, for those of you that have been in the stream now for, I mean, I've been streaming since, I want to say January. So the past couple months. Yeah, I think January is when I first started streaming. I don't remember when the first stream was, but I want to say it was sometime in January. But yeah, I've been talking about SPY now. I can't remember when I did my first video on SPY or we covered this on stream. I'm not entirely sure what, like when I had mentioned it. I want to say it was back, what is this? What is this candle right here? I want to say it was this February. I want to say it was like beginning of February. I said, hey guys, as far as the structure is concerned on SPY, we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5-wave move. I said upside was limited. I got a lot of hate in the comments on that video saying you're wrong. But I was saying, hey, you know, we've had a 5-wave move already. Could we extend a little bit further? Sure, but upside is limited as far as the wave count's concerned. The next thing we should expect is an ABC pullback somewhere between the 0.382 to the 0.618, which is, let me move these to the right side so you can see them. I was suggesting that price was overextended here and we should expect an ABC pullback somewhere between 563 to 481. 481 being like a big major crash, like that's sort of like a COVID type crash or like a .com bubble type crash. The 0.78, no, the 0.618 I think was 2008. 0.25 was COVID. Like somewhere between like 563 to 481 was my next target on SPY. And obviously we've been just straight declining since then. You know, we might see something like this where we get a bounce for a B wave and then we get a retrace down. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. You know, maybe we come down to 614 for the A wave, pop up fail to make a new all-time high and then come back down to the 0.382. I could see something like that going forward on SPY, and basically the structure will look like this. It'll look, I'll change the colors in a second. So that would go here, this would go here, and then this would go here, and you would basically get some sort of movement like this. I wouldn't be surprised if SPY does something like this, and then, you know, that would be the end of the correction for me, somewhere between 561 to 480. Do you invest in Bitcoin? I do. Chili's should run all the way to World Cup to start in June. Yeah, because aren't they partnered with World Cup? Don't they have a bunch of partnerships with them or something? I can't remember. New highs coming. It will be a fake out. I mean, this is if you're saying that this decline's a fake out, that's a pretty big decline for be a fake out. We're already down, well, only 10%. It's not that much. But this is the next path. Again, I don't see something like this and then a massive move to the upside. That we've already had a 5-wave move. The next thing is an ABC corrective. If this does just continue to straight down, that could work. But on the weekly time frame, we don't have an A wave or a B wave yet. So on SPY, we have to wait for an ABC to develop. And so far, we only look to be in wave A. Like there's no, you can see it on here, right? There's no 3-wave movement here where you get like a 3-wave move. It literally is just one move down, which suggests that it's a wave A. So what we should get is something like this, a B wave bounce, and then a C wave lower on the SPY. For those of you that aren't familiar with what SPY is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. Let me go back up here. Yeah, we can go to Chili's. Dude, wave forward doesn't go to 0.618. What the fuck are you doing? What do you mean, George? Yes, it does. It doesn't have to go. What? All right. If you're an Elliott Wave master, where does it go? Where does it go? I'll show you an example. You want to see an example? I'll show you 2 examples. So 2008 dot-com bubble. We had an ABC corrective down to the 0.786. And then on this wave right here, on this 5-wave move, we've had a wave 1, which goes down to the 0.382. So Elliott Wave follows the rule of inverse. So if you have a shallow wave 2, you ultimately have a deep decline wave 4 down to the 0.618. So yes, it does do that. Do you believe once the Iran is over, we'll go on another bull run? I mean, for me, as far as SPY is concerned, it's in a different stage than Bitcoin. So for me, SPY and ABC is next. Whereas with Bitcoin, what's next for that, just based on the structure, is a little bit different. So we've already had, SPY is right here. SPY is back here at this wave 5. So how do I go back to that chart? Can I go back to that? SPY is up here at this wave 5, right? Well, it doesn't let me go back. Okay, never mind. So they're kind of at different stages right now. SPY being at its wave 5, whereas Bitcoin has already completed its 5 wave and it's in its ABC. So for me, what's next on Bitcoin is, while SPY is doing an ABC, Bitcoin's doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move to the upside. So my next target on Bitcoin is 200K. Ouch on SPY, yeah, 100%. What about QQQ? QQQ looks very similar. So they're kind of like somewhat intertwined. You can see on QQQ it's a little bit different, but you have this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So it also has completed a 5-wave stage. And you can see that QQQ has already retraced. Give me a second. What? Where's the end to this damn thing? Oh, I need to not extend. That's why. So on QQQ, you can see that if I can get this thing operating the way that I want, there we are. On SPY, we're a little bit not as far decline, whereas QQQ, we're almost hitting the 0.236 right now. Same thing for QQQ, this being the A wave, we should see a B wave bounce. It doesn't have to bounce to new all-time highs. That's the thing. It can. we can get an A wave bounce, a shallow B, and then a decline C. We could also get an A wave bounce, a B that goes above new all-time highs and then down. We could get something like this that kind of extends and then down. You know, basically what's next is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. My next targets on QQQ would be 493 to 400. Do you write code? I don't. So 493 to 400 would be my next target on QQQ. More than likely 493 to 450. If things really get bad and we overextend, then 400 could be on the table. It really just depends on how extended we get on and how bad things get. You know, obviously geopolitics is playing a role right now. So that's, you know, fueling some of this stuff. Cheers, George. He was about to look at Chili's until you distracted him. Now we can look at Chili's. Isn't it CHZ? Yeah. I actually own some Chili's. I can't remember when I bought it, but I do own some. I think we looked at this on stream, did we not? Let me erase everything and then we can start from scratch. Let me go to the weekly. I think we looked at this on stream, if memory serves correct. I want to say we did. Let me go to the daily because I think that was how it had the... Yeah, that's right. We had the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Yeah, so we had this movement starting down here. And then the next target on Chili's, that we're in the wave 2 essentially, so let me get it all in a chart. We have this initial push 1, and then this big wave 2, and we've retraced a lot on this wave 2. So you can see, you know, we're down pretty far. We're already down, what, almost 90% from all-time highs or something? Yeah, 98% from all-time highs, and then we've obviously had this pump up. But the next target on Chili's would be, for me, about $1.50. That would be my next target using the rules of Elliott Wave Theory. Chili's would be $1.54 from these lows here. So if Bitcoin does drop, I do see probably Chili's coming down a little bit and then pumping. But the next long-term target on is $1.54. $1.54. Hi Nick, can you do Broadcom? Yeah, we can look at Broadcom. That's the best case scenario. Yeah, the 0.382 on these like fib retraces, when you get these things, let me go back to QQQ for a second. When you get these fib retraces, like the best case scenario is typically the 0.382. Like rarely does price decline to the 0.236. It's very rare. Best case scenario is always 0.382. Kind of middle ground is the 0.5. You know, you're starting to get into deep corrective territory with the 0.618, and then like 0.786 is like worst case scenario. And a good example of that is SPY back in 2008. You had this being, you know, obviously the worst case scenario down here at the 0.786, and you know, that's the major global financial crisis. We pull down here and then we start to move up. I think once they usher in the new financial system, we're still we're not there yet, but I would say like 2030, maybe 2035, you know, once we get the new financial system, they're going to reset everything and we're going to move to tokenization and blockchain and digital currencies. So once they do that, we're going to have a big correction like this. Like in the next, like probably 5 to 10 years, we'll have another global reset like 2008, and we'll have a huge correction like this. We haven't got there yet, but you know, once we get there, we're going to expect a big decline when they reset everything. You know, when we move to the new financial system, they'll reset everything, and that'll be very similar to 2008. Nick, I saw in one of your videos, Bitcoin is having a drawdown. Why are you saying it's going to 200K? So short term, yes. Drawdown. Long term, no. So when I talk about Bitcoin having a drawdown, it's more of a short-term time horizon, not long-term. So from a shorter-term perspective, yes, I still have downside for 60 to 50K. But like after that's done, meaning we get this move to 60, 50K, the next target for me is 200. So we still have more downside to go, in my opinion, to the downside for a short term, and then we start the pump to the upside. Gold for me is topped as well. I did a video on it, but we can look at gold again. We can look at gold again. What's up, Drew? How are you? Did you do SoFi? No, we can do SoFi though. We can do SoFi. I was gonna jump to Broadcom next, then we can look at SoFi. I don't know if did we look at AVGO Broadcom? I don't know if we've ever looked at Broadcom on stream. We might have. I mean, some of these things have such long price action. It's really hard. Like this one, I'm probably going to need to go to 6 month to get everything in the chart. Ben, thanks for the... What was that, a heart? Thank you for that. I mean, from what I'm seeing on this... Let me go down to the 3 month, because that's going to be a little bit better. I mean, this almost looks like a 1, 2... 3, 4, and then 5. That's almost what it looks like. You have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is a big decline too. So that also I got to factor in. Let's go to the monthly. Like some of this stuff just has such long price action that it's hard to determine what this is. It looks like a 1, 2. Did that invalidate? No, it didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This decline. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This decline. Then we're in this price action. So let's jump over to here. All right. So okay. I mean, this is a big decline. So we got to pay attention to this low. This almost looks like a 4, 5. Maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that would make sense. Structurally wise, that would fulfill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I mean, it looks like Broadcom's in its ABC corrective. Now the question is, how much of this move has it corrected already? Let me go to the weekly to see what that looks like at the top. Yeah, so I would say this is the top right here. Yeah, so Broadcom's coming down to the 0.382 now. You can see after this 5-wave move on Broadcom, it's in its corrective ABC. So this being the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're expecting an ABC down. And the targets I always talk about with my community is the 0.382 to the 0.618. So the next target on Broadcom would be 264. Which would be a trigger for me for a buy for a long-term hold. 0.5 would be another trigger, and then 0.618. But somewhere between 264 to 179 is where we should see Broadcom retrace to. What's up, Joe? Hope you guys had a great day. I'm ready to buy some stuff. Talk to me. Talk to me, Goose. What do we got? I'm still waiting on some positions. The only positions I've taken... Okay, wait. I was going to say the only positions I've taken a position in, but I don't want to repeat myself so much. The only things that I've taken a position in right now are Neo. I took a position in Neo based on the structure. So we had this big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottom move, and then an impulse off the low with a wave 2. I took a position in Neo. I think my cost average is like $5.26 or something. Price right now is like $5.50. My next target on it's a 93. So I did take a position. In Neo is one that I took a position in. Another one that I took a position in recently was Circle. So these were my sort of targets. We had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move off of the low. I took a buy at 103. I took another buy at 93, and then I have a limit order at 82.95. So I've already bought in twice to Circle. I'm waiting for the 0.618 to trigger. If we get a retracement down to $68 on Circle, that'll trigger another buy. So I just have limit orders on this way down. But I took a position in Neo. I took a position in Circle. Another one that I'm looking to take a position in is MSTR. So this is another one I'm looking to take a position in. Price is at 120, but my zone is, because Bitcoin for me coming down is going to bring MSTR down. The next zone for me is between $180, not 180, but at $100 to $80. In that zone, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into MSTR. Another one is BMNR, which has a really big impulse off of these lows, obviously for the Ethereum treasury. similar to Bitcoin, but I'm waiting on Bitcoin and Ethereum to come lower, which will drive BM&R lower. And then once Bitcoin and Ethereum bottom, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into BM&R targeting 269, which at current prices right now is a 13x, right? Yeah, right, 13x from current prices. So 269 being my next target on BM&R. So those are just a few that I'm looking to pick up. MSTR, BM&R, I've already picked up Neo, looking to pick up Circle. I've already picked up Circle, have a limit order on that. SBET as well, so I'm going to be picking up some SBET as well. So that's another one that I'll be picking up here soon, would be SBET as well. So this for me looks good. I don't know why this fib's there. I don't really know why that's there, because it should start down here. But SBET's another one. I haven't taken that yet. I'm waiting for Ethereum to come down, which will drive SBET down. So those are just a few that I'm buying that are, for me, at a really big, deep dollar discount. And the targets look pretty good. But yeah, we can jump into SoFi, because I know there's a lot of questions on SoFi. How does Elliott Wave Theory work on a chart like BM&R with its wild price action? Yeah, really good question. So a lot of the stuff in the past, you kind of just ignore. Honestly, because it's already, you take it off the impulse from the low. I mean, we've had a really wild price action here, but I'm following more of Ethereum's price action because this is so closely linked. It's kind of like MSTR and Bitcoin, right? Like when Bitcoin drops, MSTR drops. When Ethereum drops, BM&R and SBET drop. So it's almost like you follow them to get an understanding of where these are going to go. But yes, I do agree with you. It does have wild price action, but I do think that BM&R is going to outperform pretty significantly when Ethereum takes off. And when that thing takes off, Ethereum is going to be valued at whatever, and then their holdings are going to be valued at X. So this will drive, obviously a beta play on Ethereum. So that's why I'm taking a position in it. It's more of a long-term hold. I'm not looking to trade it or take a position in it early. Like from these all-time highs, we've retraced already past the 0.786, so we're at a big value discount from the top. We're down 88% from all-time highs. For me, that's a good risk to reward, so I'm willing to take a position here. But yeah, we can go to SoFi, because I know Drew, we were going back and forth on it on the Discord. The only challenge that I'm facing with SoFi is this structure. So like this can't be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously, because the wave 4 retraced into the territory of wave 5. That's the problem. Then if you look at it from this structure, this can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, because this is decreased into the territory of wave 1. So it provides a few different challenges when looking at this price action, because it's so overlapping. It is the problem. Ephraim, what's going on? Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. If it's your first time here, welcome to the stream. If y'all have been here for a while, I appreciate the support. Just wanted to make that announcement. I really do appreciate it. Prav, thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. And then when you jump into the weekly time frame on SoFi, it also presents challenges, because like in order to find an impulsive wave, you have to have a 5-wave movement up. So in order to do that, you have to identify a 5-wave move. I'll give you an example of that on SoFi. So this impulse right here, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, boom, we have that. But then you can't say this right here is a wave 1 and this is a wave 3, because this price entered the territory of wave 1. So it cancels that out. And then when you look at this price action, we do have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, so where do we go next? Well, this could be a wave 2. And then this can't be a 3, 4, 5. Okay, maybe this is a wave 1 with a wave 2, and then this is another wave 1 and then a wave 2. Possible that we have just an extended third wave. That's not off the table. It can happen. Now down here in this price action, for me, I don't really see any impulsive waves. It's more just corrective to me. I mean, on the weekly, I just see this big pump up ABC. So I wouldn't consider this an impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. I would consider this more of an ABC movement. So that rules out this being an impulse. And then by regard, that rules out this being an impulse. So you kind of have to cancel out all of this price action back here. Like all of this price action back here is just corrective. There's really not a lot of impulsive action there. And then even this, you could say like, okay, maybe this is an impulse, but then you would get this weird 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Like that's just too many 1 2s. You can't really have that, which is a problem. And then the only thing that can fulfill this being a 1 2 is this is the wave 1, this is the wave 2, and then this is the first impulsive wave 1 of 3, 2 of 3, then you get a 3 4 5. That would be the only way that I could see that this price action fulfills that. So for me, because there's too many what ifs, like I just don't really, for me, it's not enough confidence to put my money there, because then you would have this being the wave 1, the wave 2, then you would wait for a 3 4 5, and then this would be a 1 2 3 4 5 of 3. So you would basically have the extended third wave, which is possible. That's not off the table. You have a 1 2 3 wave 1 2 3 4 5 3 ABC 4 1 2 3 4 5. That could be the structure. It's not off the table. I'm not discounting that. It's just, for me, like, the chances of it being an extended third wave are possible. It's just there's less. You don't know. Like, you don't know until this next price action comes about. The only thing that's going to be able to determine if this is a wave 1, wave 2, and then we're in an extended third wave is what happens off of the low. If we get a 1 2 3 4 5 off the low, then yes, then we would be in an extended third wave, which would mean SoFi is extremely bullish. And you would get a crazy price target on this, because the next price target, if this is a 1 2, would be around $53. And then you would get a pullback 4, and then one more wave up, which would go to like $60, maybe even $80. But the risk to reward, you got to factor that in too, like risk to reward, right? I mean, it's a great company based on fundamentals, but from a technical standpoint, you're playing a lot of what ifs, I think, is the only thing that I would get at. Like, do I think SoFi has value? 100%. 100% I think it does. I mean, fundamentals support that. It's just the only problem when you're evaluating this structure is what happens next off of these lows. Do you get an ABC and then another ABC? Or do you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And then if you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off of these lows, you're like, holy shit, this thing's going to, this thing's going to be absolutely crazy bullish, because now you've had a wave 1, a 2, and then you're going to get an extended third wave, which is going to send this thing through the moon, which is a really good sign. But it's hard to tell at this point because you don't have the price action yet. Do you take fundamentals into account with Elliott Wave Theory? Yeah, so I do. I look at companies and I make sure like they're doing good financially. Like I invest based on technicals, but also fundamentals too. Like, I'm not going to go buy a stock that has like declining revenue year over year. Like, the company's just in the shitter. But I also invest in stuff that I know. Like, I know Robinhood. I know what they do. So and then the chart is like, Sparsha's going to like this, but I know what Robinhood does. And when I look at their financials, like, they look good on paper, but then their chart also looks really good. You have a really clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm like, okay, I know what Robinhood does. So I know what they do. So that's another thing that I like to look at is like, okay, IPO SpaceX on Hood and SoFi. Oh wait, no SpaceX on Hood and SoFi. I'm confused by your question, Drew. I don't know if that's a question or a statement. I'm trying to read that and understand it. But yes, Ryan, I do take into account fundamentals for sure. A good way you can look at fundamentals is obviously earnings. You can go to the earnings statement. I think FinViz has a tool that you can look at too. So this is another website. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's called FinViz. It's a free website. You can basically use all of these like filters in here to scan for stocks that you want to buy. But if you look at Hood on here, you can see all of their financials. I'm pretty sure everything's up to date, but you can see like their earnings per share for the past, earnings per share growth over the past 3 to 5 years is 200%. Sales, up 48%. Earnings per shares trailing 12 months is up 30%. Their sales year over year is up 50%. So you can like look at sales quarter over quarter. Like, all these numbers look good. Their earnings per share this year, was good, up 12%. Their gross margin's almost 100%. Their operating margin's good. So you can use this to like look at it from a fundamental standpoint and say, okay, I've evaluated Hood. I know the business model. I know what they do. You know, you may invest on Hood too. So there's another thing. And then I go to the chart and say, okay, what does the chart look like? Well, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC, my next target on it was $63, which is kind of what we're at right now. But then the next move up for me is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. And, you know, so I factor in both. No SpaceX IPO on Hood and SoFi, 100%. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. It's a little bit different with crypto because it's not like they're reporting earnings and stuff. So it makes it a little bit more challenging. You kind of rely more off fundamentals and, I mean, technicals. There are some websites you can like look at, you know, how much revenue they're generating, gross profit and stuff. But I question the validity of some of those websites and like how accurate those numbers actually are. But nonetheless, you can use it as a tool. You think people are being driven to crypto? I think once it's a play every single year. Like when you look at Bitcoin, I remember this in 2020 and 2021. It just typically when you hit like the euphoric stage, like where we were back here in crypto, like this leg, you know, this euphoric leg right here, you could feel it. You could feel the energy, right? I remember everyone's For You page and every influencer was just spewing crypto, like pump, pump, pump to the moon. Like I was seeing it everywhere. And maybe that was just my algorithm, but I was seeing advertisements everywhere, you know, crypto influencers being shilled tokens to pump it. You know, there was all this euphoria in the market, which you're not really seeing that right now because we're in this corrective wave. But once we enter this next phase to the upside, all those people are going to pop out of the woodwork. There's going to be Bitcoin to 500K, Bitcoin to 1 million, Ethereum to 30K, the next 100X meme coin, the this, the that. Like all these crypto influencers are going to come out the woodwork that haven't been talking about crypto now, you know, in a positive way. They're all just fear mongering and saying that Bitcoin's going to 10K. It's just the nature of it. You know, don't love them or hate them, whatever. They're going to do their thing. You can never really change it. But at the end of the day, once this happens to the upside, once Bitcoin hits new all-time highs, you're going to see advertisements going through the roof, trying to funnel people into crypto, because once you get this wave 1, 2 on the third leg, which is the most euphoric leg, according to Elliott Wave Theory, this is when you're going to see all the advertisements, the crypto influencers, you know, the pump and dumps, all that random garbage. Then you're going to get a pullback for another euphoric 5, and then that's when there's going to be exit liquidity, and then we'll get this ABC corrective down, and everyone will say crypto's a scam and I lost money. But yes, fear and greed is a wonderful thing, but also a thing that you have to manage. Do you use Fibonacci lines on day-to-day or weekly candles or monthly? So I'm more of an investor. Like I don't really take day trades. Like I'm not a day trader. I don't, you know, look at 5-minute charts or 10-minute charts or anything like that. While you can use Elliott Wave Theory on those charts, it's just not something that I do. So yes, I do use fibs. Like if you look at the fib target on Bitcoin, we're currently, you know, in between basically the 0.32 and the 0.5. I'm expecting a move between 60 to 50K between this 0.5 to 0.618 for a bottom, and then we should see the impulse to the upside. So I do use it on longer time frames as well. Did y'all see the guy on here sold BMNR at 100,000 lost? Damn, that sucks. Fear and greed will get to you, man. No matter how much money you have, if you cannot manage $1,000, you'll never be able to manage 10,000. If you can't manage 10,000, you'll never be able to manage 100,000. If you can't manage 100,000, you'll never be able to manage 1,000,000. You have to manage your emotions and a strategy with a little bit of money, so that when you get blessed with a lot of money, you're able to manage that. Because without that, you're going to repeat the same habits, and it's not going to be losing $1,000. You're going to be losing $100,000 like that person. What up, Dr. Thunder? What's going on? I'm looking at CN. Yeah, we can do CN. We can do CN. I think CN, wasn't I saying CN was top though? I can't remember the last time we looked at CN. I want to say it was like last week or something. I want to say that I was saying that we should expect limited upside on CN and then we should expect downside. I thought that was what we were at last time because we had this wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and then to expect a wave 4 pullback. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an extended 5th wave, which for me, the next targets, it kind of looks like the pullback starting on CN, to be honest, given just this big candle up here and just given the structure on this 3rd wave. We have this being the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a 5th leg. My next target on CN would be 296 to 201. It doesn't necessarily have to go to 201, but again, the price can go down to the 0.618. But my next target would be some sort of ABC correction down to one of these zones between $200 to $300. And then once we get that, say we come down to, 250, my next target on it would be 569. Like 570 would be my next target. So 200 to 300 next, and then somewhere between like 500 to 645 would be my next target on CN. This one's a really clean chart too. Not gonna lie, Nick, you're kind of confusing me. You need to slow down a bit. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm from New Jersey originally, so I tend to talk really fast. I can slow down. I'm in Georgia now, so I'm in the South. So I'll put on some Southern twang and I'll speak a little bit slower for those of you that are not familiar with Elliott Wave Theory. So I apologize if everyone else is feeling the same way. I'll slow my roll. I get really excited and passionate about this stuff, which typically makes me yell and speak a little bit faster. So I'll slow down. On what time frames do you use the 5-part wave in the Fibonacci line? So for me, I use it on the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. So for long-term investing and long-term holdings, I use it on the monthly, daily, and weekly. But for more swing trades, which I'm looking to get into, I'll probably look to get oust. On more of the swing trading stuff, I'll use something that is more of like a short term. So for me on oust, this is all corrective. This whole structure right here, it's just a bunch of choppiness. So the first impulse I would say for this would be right here. And it almost looks like we have this initial wave 1 push, wave 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this massive just 2. It looks like we have a wave 1 with a wave 2, but this price action's so weird. That is weird. Like, yeah, you have a 5-wave move up, but then you have this A wave, this B wave, A, B, C. I mean, this price action's weird, but somewhere. I mean, you're kind of at the 0.618 right now for this one, but this price action just looks so funky. But it does look like we have a wave 1, we're in the 2, and then to expect a wave 3 next. Oh wait, a lot of comments came in. Let me back up here. You're NJ, I'm NJ, Northern New Jersey. Yeah, I'm from if you're familiar with Matt, if you're familiar with Randolph, New Jersey, that's where I'm originally from. So if you're familiar with like the Morris County area, that's where I'm from. You said sell some, expect an ABC. Yeah, so on CN, I am expecting a corrective wave down towards. Give me 1 second. And again, it's all based on your strategy, right? If this is a long-term hold, you don't necessarily have to change anything. But structurally wise, it does look like we have a completed wave 1, 2, and then we have this 3 to expect a 4 down. And somewhere between $200 to $300 would be my next target on CN. I was just in Jersey City, now in Chicago. It's cold as shit in Chicago right now, or is it warm now? That's awesome. I usually go to Jersey in the summer, but that's typically during the summer time frames that I go. But yeah, Dr. Thunder on CN, I would expect a pullback, which we're kind of seeing now, towards like $200 to $300. It's better. Not like Georgia has been hot. It's been like 75 It's been really nice here in March. It's starting to get, like, golf weather is, like, perfect right now. It's really nice. Someone said, okay, Brian Kelly. That made me laugh. No, I can't do the Brian Kelly talk. I can't do that. That's too hard for me. I don't know how to do impersonations. Bitcoin, can you do AMD? My college was in NYC. Oh no, what? I went to school at Auburn, so I went down south for school. I got out of New Jersey and went down south. I couldn't do Jersey weather anymore. It was too damn cold. I had to move. What was it? AMD? I think we looked at AMD the other day on stream, I want to say. Yeah, so for AMD, this was the fourth wave for me, and we're kind of in this fifth leg right now. And I mean, again, this price action's so weird. Like, look at this massive gap, which has provided challenges, but it almost was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1, wave 2. And then I don't really even consider this a 4-5 now when I relook at it. It almost looks like the 4 is kind of out of the way and we're waiting for this 3 to develop. Like, this gap is really just doesn't really help, right? We do have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move up for an initial wave 1, and then this ABC pullback for a 2. The only problem is this a wave 1 with a pullback 2, and we should get a 3, 4, 5. I mean, structurally wise, there is more upside to go on AMD. The only problem is this the wave 3 with the wave 4 and the 5? Or is this the wave 1, 2, and then we should get a 3, 4, 5? So structurally wise, it's just very confusing on AMD. If you don't clean the gap, it will get a rash. That's a good one. I like that one. But yeah, I mean, we're in the gap right now. But yeah, I mean, that gap up is just from an Elliott Wave perspective. It doesn't necessarily provide a lot of confluence. But on the longer time frame on AMD, we're kind of in the fifth wave right now. So this being the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're in the wave 5. So there's kind of C has to be a 5 wave, right? It does not. No. So the way that corrections work is you can have a 3 wave move, wave A, a 3 wave move, wave B, which wave B always has to be a 3 wave move, and then you can have a 3 wave move, wave C. That's one style. Or you can have a 5 wave move, wave A, a 3 wave move B, and then a 5 wave move, wave C. So you can have that as sort of your A wave, B wave, C wave, and a 3 wave, 3 wave, 3 wave. You can have a 5 wave, 3 wave, and a 5 wave, and then you can also have a 3 wave, another 3 wave, and then a 5 wave. So you can have a 3 wave up for an A, 3 wave down, and then another 5 wave. So it really just, there's like so many different ways you can have it, but on a larger time frame, it's more clear, which helps. That's why I always go to the longer time frame, because sometimes when you get too distracted on the lower time frames, price action just confuses you. So I always like to look at a monthly time frame first, and then kind of go down from there. Did you look at SPX already? We looked at SPY, but I don't know if we looked at SPX. I think we looked at SPX. I think this was from one of the other streams, but if we look at this structure right here, like if you go to the 6 month on SPX, you kind of have this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're kind of in the fifth leg on SPX. This being the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5. And then when you look at this from the bottom, I would go from the monthly chart there, go from this bottom, which is back in, 2008 back here. And then you look at this structure developing, you kind of have this. You have, hold on. This drop here for COVID was definitely a wave 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. Yeah, so you have this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 extended wave 1, wave 2. Then you have this wave 3, wave 4, and then we're currently in the fifth leg, which is what it looks like. Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5. And then if you look at this fifth if you look at the fifth leg of SPX, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we already have a 5-wave move. What's expected next is an ABC. Now, on SPX, the targets are a little bit different, obviously, because it's not the SPY. But the next targets on SPX for me would be between 5,600 and 4,800 at the 0.382 to the 0.618. 6,100 being the most shallow correction you can have down here, but more than likely we should get a correction between 4,800 to 5,600. That would be my next correction on SPX. Let's see. Coin, yeah, we can look at coin. I don't think that's right. If you use Elliott Wave rules, 3 can't be the shortest leg. So guys, this is a log chart, which makes it different. I'll show you what I mean. So if you go back to the 3-month, you would say that even the 6-month. So when you say the 3, I'm trying to remember which one you were saying the 3 can't be the shortest leg. Were you referring to this right here? Oh yeah, I know which one you're referring to. So this, I think you're referring to this being the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, right? I think that's what you're referring to. So if you have this right here to up here and then down, wave 3 can't be wave 3 cannot be the shortest wave, but it's typically the longest wave, but it can't be the shortest wave. So what does that mean? Let's see. So where's this thing? It's almost at the wave 1, right? Now, this is here, which would actually make it the shortest wave. So yeah, maybe you are right. But it looks like an extended 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. This being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should get a 4, 5 next. That's what it was. That's what we were looking at the chart last time. But nonetheless, this is a 5-wave move here for the wave 3. So this being a wave 1, bear with me, guys. I'm not in full headspace today. I got a massive headache. This is the wave 1, this being the wave 3, so it is longer than this. So wave 1, 2, we're in the wave 3, we should get a pullback 4, and then a final leg 5. That's what's next for SPX. Good call out there. Is that Potros? Good call out there. My head is killing me today. I think it's the pollen. But yeah, this would be structurally wise what's next. So if that is the case, typically the wave 4 pulls back. If I can get this, hold on. Wave 1, 2, 3. The wave 4 typically pulls back to the 0.382, so 5,600 would be our next target on SPX. But this is a 5-wave move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that would be what's next for SPX, somewhere to that level. And you can also confirm this as well. The wave 3 is longer than the wave 1. So it almost pumps right to the 1.618, which is great. But this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement. And then we should expect somewhere between 5,600 to 4,300 as the next move. Pot roast. Oh, pot roast. Yeah, that's it. Pot roast. What's up, Roll Tide? How are you? Let's see. April lows seem unlikely in my opinion. Well, yeah, you don't have to go down to the 0.618. I'm saying that those are the key levels that I would be watching at. Again, Elliott Wave Theory is a guide, guys. It's not an exact target. For me, the way that my strategy works is you use Elliott Wave Theory to determine what's next. So we've had a 5-wave move. What's next? An ABC. I'm not trying to time the bottom perfectly. What I'm waiting for is this A wave to get to the 0.382, take a position, wait for the B wave. You know, say this is what it looks like. Say we get a structure like this. We get an A wave down to the 0.236. We get a reaction here and then another wave down. As soon as price hits the 0.382, I take a buy. If price continues to come down to the 0.5, I take another buy. If price continues to come down to the 0.618, I take another buy. So I layer in and I dollar cost average in, and that's how I do it. So instead of trying to time the bottom and say, okay, you know, as soon as price hits the 0.382, I'm allocating 100% of my position right here. It's not a bad strategy, but then what if price comes down to the 0.5? Well, you have no more dry powder on the sideline to reduce your cost average and increase your share count. So for me, I buy a little bit at the 0.382, reserve a little bit of capital. If price does come down to the 0.5, buy a little bit more, reserve some capital. If it comes down to the 0.618, buy a little bit here. If price on the off chance comes down to the 0.786, buy a little bit here, and next thing you know, you've lowered your cost average, increase your share amount, and you wait for the next move up. So it's not about timing the bottom perfectly or knowing what the exact bottom is. It's a lot about knowing what the structure is and where price wants to go next. After a 5-wave move, you get an ABC. So for me, that's what's next, and I'll wait for my zones to get hit. You should start doing your hot 3 picks of the day. My hot 3 picks of the day, I mean, what do I like right now? That's a good call, Roll Tide. That's not a bad call. A little hot take of the day. Nick's hot take, something like that. Pot roast. That name is hilarious. Pot roast. That's good stuff. Does anyone use fib retracements for day trading? Yeah, people do. I'm not a day trader, so like I don't use it. I mean, you can use Elliott Wave Theory on day trading. Like it is a strategy, and I'll show you on what's a good example of it. I'm trying to think. I mean, I think Bitcoin has something on the smaller time frame. Oh, sorry. I think Bitcoin has something on the smaller time frame on this current move, but give me a second. Let me zoom in on it. So you can use it. Hold on, bear with me. I got a scroll wheel here. So on Bitcoin for this initial move down, for me, this was the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then we had this A wave, B wave, and the C wave here. But you can see on these moves, like after this impulse down, we retraced down to the 0.5 and then, you know, got rejected here at the 0.5. Well, you can't really see that. Let me zoom in a little bit more. But after this initial drop 1, we retraced to the 0.5 and then we came down. And then after that drop, we had another wave here, which, oh, I'm doing it for the wrong thing. Hold on. We had another wave 3 here with a wave 4 pullback. So where did this come through? This tried to come to the 0.32 and then got rejected. And then if you look at this move right here for the wave 1 and then the wave 2, we came right to the 0.382 after this wave 1 being wave 1, and then wave 2 we came to the 0.382, and then we're retracing here. So you can use it on smaller time frames. And then on this wave, this for me was the 1, 2, 3, this is the 4, and then the 5. And on this drop, you know, we came up to the 0.32 and then rejected. And then on this drop, we came up to the 0.618. So we came to the 0.382 on the first one, then we came to the 0.618, got rejected, and then we're coming down now. So you can use it on smaller time frames for sure. Tau looks really good too. Does stock move like crypto? It depends, Aries. It depends. Certain like smaller Elliott Wave 1 minute works. So you can use it on any time frame. That's the thing. Like you can use it on 5 minute, 10 minute, 15, hourly, 2 hour, daily, monthly. I'm more of an investor, so obviously like I'm not going to chart a chart on the 2 hour chart and say, hey, what am I going to do long term, right? I need to know what's going on a massive time frame. So for me, I mainly stick to monthly. I'll drop down to weekly and daily as well. But when I'm evaluating stuff for 1 second, 1 second tick, imagine those movements would be so small. But when I'm taking a position for a long-term hold, like I need to know what the price is doing on the monthly. So for Bitcoin, right, like this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this ABC, that for me is a good position to take a long-term hold and hold it out for, you know, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, however long it takes to get to my next target. So you can use it on all time frames, but it really just depends on what you're trying to do. And you like your risk tolerance, your strategy, your plan, your time horizon, like there's a lot of different things that factor into it. What do we got? It's so beautiful to watch Fibs work. Yeah, 100%. It's all about, it's really just pattern recognition. Like there's no strat. I always want to preface it like this too, for everyone that is like, getting into, I'm not a day trader. I don't really, I don't do any of that stuff. I'm just not really, I just don't have time for it. I don't feel like watching a chart, watching every 15-minute candle. Hold on, I need a drink of water. Do you think that it's a good idea to day trade up to a long term or vice versa? I think I'm understanding your question correctly. Are you asking, is it a good thing to start with day trading and then go to long-term investing, or is it better to go from long-term investing to day trading? Is that what you're asking? I think that's what you're asking. I think. I mean, it's a tough question. Again, like I think with day trading, it requires day trade to long term. With day trading, it just requires so much. One, it requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of emotional control. It requires a time. Like you have to be sitting in front of your computer and actually looking at price action. So it requires a lot of time. It requires a lot of discipline. You have to have a lot of emotional control. It is more volatile. That's why you get, typically you'll get stopped out of a lot of trades. That's why having a good risk to reward and having a good system is very important, because you're going to lose typically more than you win. But as long as your wins outpace your losses, you'll be profitable. But without sticking to the strategy to a T and being unemotionally biased in it, that's why everyone loses money day trading, because they get into a trade and then as soon as it gets profitable, they take profits, but they don't factor in the risk to reward. And because you're not factoring in your risk to reward and having proper risk management, if you cut profit too soon, long term, it doesn't play into your strategy. And what you end up doing is when you get losses, it goes to your stop loss. But when you get profits, you don't wait until your take profit number hits because you get nervous it's going to reverse on you. And long term, you actually lose money because your losses outweigh your gains, which is a reason why day trading is really hard. Whereas long-term investing, you don't have to worry about as much. I mean, you can still put a stop loss, but you don't have to worry about like huge, intraday price swings, or, typically when you're taking a position on day trading, everyone does futures. So you got to pay attention to funding rates. You got to pay attention to, if you take a position and there's an expiration date on it, like you have to take that into consideration. There's a lot of different things that you do that go into it that I just feel like people don't pay attention to. Whereas with long-term investing, I can look at a chart, and say, okay, we have this massive monthly move. I'm waiting for an ABC, I take a position and then I hold, and then I just wait 1 to 2 years and I capture a big move. So with long-term investing, you're going to have bigger moves, right? Like you're waiting on Bitcoin to do its thing, for me, 60 to 50K, and then 200K is my next target. So I'm looking to capture a 200% move, whereas day traders are looking to capture maybe a 1 to 5% move and stack that up over time, where I have less stress, I have more patience, I don't have to worry about intraday swings, I don't got to look at the chart every day. I just got to wait for my zones, buy and then hold. That's all I have to do. That's the only thing I have to do, is I have to buy at undervalued prices, hold, and take profit. Again, that's an easier way of saying there is challenges with long-term investing and things like that. You got to factor in companies' fundamentals and long-term growth and all this stuff. But needless to say, long-term investing is a lot different, but in my opinion, a lot easier. And I think everyone tries a day trade and they realize A, how hard it is, but B, that it's not as necessarily as much as it's cooked up to be. And everyone loses money and then they get frustrated. Then it ruins your mental psyche. And then they eventually move to long-term. And then when they're at long term, it's a lot more peaceful. That was a lot more helpful than most people have been with that question. Happy to help. I mean, I've done it before. Like, don't get me wrong. The past 8 years, I've tried day trading. I've tried swing trading. I've tried a bunch of different strategies that you see all over the internet. Half of them are, more than 99% of them are garbage. They're all just a marketing ploy to get your money and buy their courses. A lot of the day traders you see on the internet aren't actually day traders. They're just good marketers. They know how to sell a course, and then they'll get partnerships with funding, like brokers, and the brokers will fund their accounts. So when they get losses, it doesn't matter to them because they're promoting a course and they're promoting the broker who's paying them. So whenever you get a broker partnership, they'll typically pay you commission fees based on the investors that you get to sign up using your link. So essentially what happens is the broker's paying the creator to get people to sign up and trade, and they're hinting on their emotions of the potential to make a lot of money. But typically people are trading and losing money every single day, which doesn't matter to the creator because every time someone invests, they're getting a kickback based on the percentage that they've negotiated with the broker. So they're just really good marketers and they're not good traders. They're like, oh, how are they making all this money? It's because maybe 1 out of 10 of their trades hit, but because the brokerage account is feeding them, because the broker is feeding them every single month a new account, it looks like their balance is increasing, but it's not. They're just getting free accounts and pushing the account to you to then sell you their course, sell you their membership program, to then say, hey, you can be a profitable day trader. Meanwhile, you're just getting eaten up with fees and they're making all the money. Oh, wow, I lost 80K. I did day trading. I'm sorry to hear that. But hopefully I lost money too in doing that stuff. So it definitely teaches you a lesson for sure. How do you get started with long-term investing? Having a plan. I mean, for me, Elliott Wave Theory is a really good guide for long-term investing. That's why I use it. It provides really clear rule sets. It provides really clear instructions of what the price action wants to do. And then you just wait for deep value discount, like Bitcoin, for example. It's at a deep value discount from all-time high. It's presenting an opportunity to buy for long-term. But I hope that explanation helped other people that may, because a lot of the creators in the day trading space, they treat it as gambling, and a lot of their content is like, that hype content that you see all the time, like, oh my God, I just made $10,000, you can do it too. Like, that's a marketing gimmick. They're just really good at marketing shit. You got to be able to discern through the language. You got to be able to pick up on, all right, is this dude legit, or are they just pumping a course? Typically, if you're very emotional about their content, like when they're very emotional, they're unemotionally regulated, they're just a lot of hypeness to their stream and to their stuff. Like typically they're not practicing what they preach, and at the end of the day, they're just selling you something. So just be careful out there. I'm not saying everyone does that, but typically, you see that a lot. It's safer long-term. Yeah, 100%. 200K is my next target for Bitcoin. Based on my strategy again. Like, I'm not trying to hype everyone and say, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to 200. No, like that's not my goal. It's just based on my strategy. So for me, we have more downside on Bitcoin first to 60 to 50K. And say we shoot that in the middle to 55, my next target's 205 at the 1.618. And again, that's based on my strategy. This being the wave 1, the wave 2, and then the wave 3, based on Elliott Wave Theory, targets the 1.618, which currently is at $205. So that for me is my next target. I do own CVX, so I want to say price action on CVX. From what I can tell, I don't know what this is. So with CVX, we're just waiting for impulses. I like it from a fundamental standpoint, and with the rise of stable coins, like I do think this is going to get a really good, decentralized DeFi finance play. But we have a wave 1 with this pullback too. I did buy, I can't remember when I bought this thing, somewhere, I want to say down here somewhere, like $1 or something. Like I bought on the big wick. I want to say I'm in it like $1.50. I'm like barely in profit. But I do see some long-term fundamentals with this token. We're kind of waiting for impulses off the low. I bought this more based on the fundamentals in the chart, if I'm being completely honest. I saw this huge decline and then this huge wick down. And I'm like, oh, that's, it's down to $1, and I picked up on it when it was like $1. Bitcoin plan still stand? Yes, 60 to 50K is my target. We could extend, we'll see, but 60 to 50K being my target. Sorry, what do you see going up now? It's hard to tell. It's mainly based on structure. I mean, I took a position in Neo. I think Neo is looking really good. And a lot of people were saying to me, well, if the market goes down, won't Neo crater as well? But the market was down whatever percent today. I don't know what percent it was down today, but Neo was up like 5% today. So there are certain positions that are obviously correlated to the market, but then there's other positions that are not correlated to the overall market. Structurally wise, we've had a really good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move off the lows with these ABC. The next structure that I'm waiting for is this 5-wave movement. My short-term price target on Neo is right around $12. But larger term 93. So for me, I see this one performing pretty well. Oh wait, what did I just hit there? What is that? Oh, that's just a cord. Sorry, I thought I unplugged something. I'm waiting to take a position in Tau. I do think Tau looks pretty good. Let me see. Tau to me looks really good. I was talking about Tau should be prepared on Tau to have a correction. We said this on stream. I had this being the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I said, hey, a fifth leg is next. We should see a fifth leg and then a pullback, and then obviously price pumped and we're pulling back now. For those of you that were on the stream at that period of time, you can back me up here. But I was saying Tau is due for a correction somewhere around here. I said, hey, be prepared for one more leg up for the 5, and then we should get a correction down. We're seeing that now. We're getting this corrective movement down. If price decides to hit 261, I'll probably take a position, in Tau. Typically with higher volatility tokens, smaller market cap tokens, you do get bigger pullbacks. Whereas like SPY and some of the larger indices, when you get a pullback, it's rare to see a 0.618 pullback. It's very rare. It can happen. It's not off the table. Like with S&P 500 pulled back in 2008, we saw a 0.618 retracement. So it's possible, but obviously it's less volatile. It's not as, you don't have bigger swings. So there's less volatility with it. But with higher volatility tokens, you can see these pullbacks get pretty extensive. But if we see something within the 0.5 to the 0.618 retracement between 261 to 233, I would probably take a swing trade on this and trade it up is sort of my next target. And then after 261 to 233, my next target on it's 639 on Tau. So Tau looks pretty good short term. You had a really explosive 5-wave move off the low. I think price is up about 100%. Yeah, so you had 150% gain off of these lows. We should expect a pullback here, and then a wave 3 next. So Tau looks pretty good, in my opinion. Why do you think Bitcoin's going lower? Just due to the structure. Obviously geopolitical and stuff like that is playing into the overall equation. But I was talking about that a while ago. Like, for those of you that have been following me now for the past couple months, I don't trade based on news, or invest based on news. That's just not part of my strategy. But I was talking about this decline for a while now. Like, I was saying it back in December. I said, hey, we should expect a 5-wave move to the downside, to complete the structure. And, people were hating on me, saying that we're going to go to all-time highs back then in December. It is what it is. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to prove anyone right. I'm not trying to, appeal to anyone. I'm just trying to document my work and help others make smart investment decisions. At the end of the day, it's obviously not financial advice. Like, I can't legally provide financial advice. If you would have asked me 8 to 9 years ago when I had my series licenses, when I was a financial advisor, I had my series 6 and 63, and I was going to study my series 7, I could have provided investment advice, but I don't have those licenses anymore, so I can't. But I was talking about this 5-wave move down for a while, and then what happened was we had this initial push down. Everyone said this is a fake, bull trap, or no, bear trap. Yeah, bear trap, and then we're gonna, reverse to the upside. I said, no, this is just the initial wave 1. Expect a wave 2, and then obviously on the wave 3, you had the government shutdown, you had the Epstein files being released, like a lot of negative news, which fueled this explosive wave 3. Which people were not expecting, and they were coming in my comments saying, oh, the reason we're dumping is because of all this news. I was like, no. I was talking about this back in December to expect downside. for whatever reason, they disagree, which is fine. I'm not always perfect and I'm not always right, so I want you to disagree with my decision. But I was suggesting we had downside to go, and then we got this 1, 2, and 3, and then we've been in this choppy corrective 4 for, ever since what? February, so over almost 2 months now, 2 full months. And for me, this is just a wave 4, and I've been saying, hey, expect a wave 5 lower to complete this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 wave structure. Just based on the structure is why I think it's going lower. I mean, obviously with the news and the geopolitical stuff with Iran and everything going on right now, and oil and all this stuff, like, I couldn't have predicted that. I couldn't have told you, hey, we're gonna, attack Iran, and then we're gonna get, the Strait of what is it, Hormuz or whatever it's called, however you pronounce that, close, and then obviously oil prices surging, and then next thing you know, it puts pressure on the markets because of inflation and whatnot. I couldn't have predicted that, but technical analysis wise, I was expecting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down, and then we had government shutdown, Epstein files, war with Iran, all this stuff coming out, and I'm still suggesting lower just because of price action. It is really at the end of the day what it's doing. Hey Nick. Oh, what's up, Ahmed? How are you? Did you do Sol today? No, we can do Sol. I mean, nothing's changed on Sol. My next target on Sol is I think it was between $80 to $60 was my next target. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. $80 to $60 was my next target on Sol. Or not 80, $70 was my next target, like 70 to 60 was my next target on Sol. So I'm just waiting for another dump on Solana, and then 533 being my next target. But I mean, we're already at a deep value discount, right? We've had a 1, 2, and again, for those of you that were asking before, like when you get these corrections, you can see Solana, right? It's a higher volatility token. It's not as volatile as like Bitcoin, but it still carries volatility compared to like a stock or, something like the SPY or the S&P 500. You can see that on higher volatility tokens, right? You get a 5-way move and you get these deep, retraces, which on Solana, we're sitting right above the 0.786. We're already at a deep value discount. So, we're already down 70% from all-time highs. So, even if you took a position now, you didn't want to wait and you just were not sure what to do, like, a position now to my next target is a 500% gain. So it's not a bad time to get into Solana. For me, I'm expecting one leg lower because Bitcoin and Ethereum for me is going to continue going down. So that for me is what's next. How cooked is NBIS and ONS? We can look at it. Can we see Elliott Wave Theory tested on the past of Bitcoin? Yeah, we can do that. NBIS. I'll do NBIS. I think we looked at it before. Nubis. Did we look at Nubis before? I can't remember. All right. Let me go to the monthly because, I mean, this kind of let me get this in chart for TikTok. This kind of looks like a. Hold on. This kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 3, wave 4. Yeah, wave 4 here, and then a wave 5, and then a wave 2. Okay, so you can see on MB, whatever the fuck this one's called, MB, I mean, look how far you retraced on that. I mean, you retraced way past the 0.786, but nonetheless, you didn't invalidate the structure because price didn't retrace lower than the starting point of wave 1, which is what you can't do. So starting from here, right, where was it? Yeah, starting from here to here. I mean, technically we're right at the 1.618, which is the next target for the wave 3, but structurally wise on this, it looks like we have this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then expecting actually one more wave up. So my next target on NBIS would be 182 from a structure standpoint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say buying here, the risk to reward doesn't make sense. If you're already in NBIS, I would say you're due for one more wave up. If you're looking to get into NBIS, the risk to reward doesn't suggest getting in now. The risk to reward always is wait for a 5-wave move and then get in on the ABC pullback, because that for me would be the better trade. Now, if you waited till this thing pumped up to say 182, the next zone, you know, again being the 117 to 78, the 0.382 to the 0.68, because this wave 2 is so retraced, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a shallow correction in the wave 4 and it came down between 117 to 98. So this being the wave 1, the wave 2, currently in the wave 3, expect a wave 4 and then a wave 5. That's kind of what's next. Yeah, we can go to Bitcoin on previous cycles. So let's look at, we can look at the previous cycle if you want. So let's go to the weekly on the previous cycle. So on the previous cycle, you have this sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1, this big ABC pullback. And you can see price didn't invalidate the starting point down here, so it's valid. And you had a deep correction here, right? You probably came down way past the 0.786, right? Yeah, you came way, but it came down, then it pulled back up, and then it retraced off the 0.786. But you had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave movement for a wave 1, ABC for a wave 2. Then you have this for a 1, ABC2, a wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. For a wave 3, then you have a wave 4, and then this being a wave 5. So structurally wise, you had this wave 1, 2, 3 up here, 4, and then 5. That's what you had on the previous cycle, and that's why everyone was caught off guard here, because you had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You already had a completed 5-wave move. What comes next is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and that's what you got. And you can see it on price action. So if you zoom in here on, this is the weekly chart. If you zoom in here, I'll show you the similarity between this price action and then this price action. It's just a little bit different. So you've had your 5-wave move. Now what comes next is an ABC. So you have an A wave, a B wave, a C wave for an initial wave A. Then you have an A wave, B wave, and then a C wave for an initial wave B. And then you have this sort of A wave, B wave, C wave down. So this is what you have. Let me mark it out. So this being the A wave, this being the B wave, and then you have a C wave down. This is kind of what you had on Bitcoin in the previous cycle. You had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the ABC. Obviously, structurally wise, it looks different, right? You had a huge retrace for the wave 2. You have a shallow retrace here for the wave 2. Shallow retrace for the wave 4. A little bit of a deeper correction for the wave 4. But nonetheless, after a 5-wave move, you got an ABC. And look at the similarities between this ABC and what we currently have. So on the weekly chart, right, you have this ABC movement here, this ABC movement with this ABC movement. Now look at this structure right here. You have this ABC movement, and then this is a complex B, so it's a little bit different, but essentially it contains a bunch of different movements within inside of it. So I'll try to explain it as easy as I possibly can. This being, oh shit, I messed that up. Hold on. Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. So this is the current price action. You have this being the A wave, B wave, C wave. Then you have another A, B, C. Then you have another A, B, C. So essentially this is just a B wave. It's just a complex one. So you have a 3-wave, 3-wave, 3-wave. And then what comes next? You have a C wave down, which is what we're in. So you can see the similarities and differences on this structure, having the A wave, B wave, C wave down. And then on this structure, A wave, B wave, C wave down. So it's very similar. Obviously, it's not the same every single time, but it's structurally like that's what you get. You get a 5-wave move up, 3-wave move down, and then obviously on the previous cycle, you had the same thing. Can you show if the targets are accurate? Yeah. So on this right here, after this wave 1, you get a pullback 2, and then this wave 3 was actually extended. So the first target on this wave 3 would have been 20K. However, because the price action developed the way that it did, you had this being a wave 1, ABC. Then you had a wave 3, which is almost approaching the 1.618. Then you had a correction 4 and then a blow off top 5, which shot through the 1.618, the 2, and then, you know, obviously pushed past the 2.618, which price can do that. It doesn't have to extend perfectly the 1.618. It really just depends on how price action unfolds. And then also with this structure right here, price action came up a little bit past the 2, which is where the wave 5 typically targets. So if we get something similar to this on Bitcoin, right, for the larger wave, if we push past the 1.618, we would be looking at 240 to potentially 300. So price can do that. It just really depends on what price does off the low. So if we get an explosive wave 1 with the wave 2 and then this big wave 3, what's next is you get a 4 or 5. So we could also extend past the 2.618, but base case being 200K for my next target on Bitcoin. Do you do gold? Yeah, we can do gold. We did gold the other day, but yeah, we can do gold. So you think we are near another big move up? Short term, more downside on Bitcoin. So I do have a target of 60 to 50K first, meaning we have one more dip lower and then we start the move up. But yes, after the moves down, my next target's 200. MSTR looks really good too. My next target on MSTR is 950. Is it a good time to get into Neo? I personally own Neo. I've already taken a position. Yellowstone, good night, Nick. Good night, Yellowstone. Yeah, I personally already own Neo. I took a position in it last week. I personally like it. You know, again, I'll just tell you what I did. So my next target on Neo is $93. This being the wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3. Again, guys, when you have higher volatility, lower market cap, you know, cryptos or stocks, you're going to get deeper ray traces. You can see here on, if I can get this thing to work, you can see here on Neo, we went way past the 786. It's just due to the high volatility of it. Whereas on the SPY, you rarely see that. I don't think SPY has ever cratered down to the 0.786, but it has hit the 0.618 multiple times. But off of the low, we've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up, a wave down, and then I'm expecting more upside. Once we complete this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, we'll get an ABC, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Essentially, that's what's next. Oh, that's a terrible drawing. But my next target on Neo is $93, but I've already taken a position in Neo. Oklo? Yeah, we can look at Oklo. This is Elliott Wave Theory, right? Yes, yeah. That is the preferred technical analysis that I use. Obviously, there's many different technical analysis styles. Elliott Wave Theory works the best. But then there's like Wyckoff and there's ooh, wait, sorry, I got this. What was your average for Neo? I think I'm in around $5.26. I think 5.26 is my average. I posted a video on it the other day. If you want to go back on my TikTok, I posted a screenshot of it. I think I have my cost average in there, like when I bought it. I think it was $5.26 is when I bought it. So I'm up a little bit. But again, this is my long-term hold. I'm not looking to trade this thing within 6 months. I mean, yeah, my short-term target's $12, which would be a double from here. That for me, you know, I might take profits, just take a little bit off the table, but my next target's 93, so I'll just hold to target. We could do Oklo. I think we looked at Oklo, did we not? I have these things on it. Did we look at it on stream already? I feel like we did. Or did we not? I can't remember. Not today. I can't remember when I thought we looked at this thing. I mean, as far as Oklo to me looks very similar to SoFi. Like if you look at this chart, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, wave 2. And then this can't be a wave 3 because, well, I don't think it can. Let's confirm. I mean, that would be a short-ass fucking 3. So this is a 5-wave move for sure. Like, you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2. This can't be a 3 with a 4 because price has already invalidated this wave 1. So it can't be that. It's kind of like SoFi in the sense that it's almost like this is a wave 1. A wave 1 with a wave 2. And then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm so good. No, Drew, don't take it like that. Don't take it like that. I just, again, structurally wise, it just I mean, it looks similar to SoFi, does it not? Like, if I went to SoFi's chart, you would see it. You have like this 1, 2, 1, 2 type scenario, which if that's the case, it's extremely bullish for SoFi. But you have this too. Let me just confirm if that makes sense. 1. Yeah, even if you put it up here. Yeah, okay, so you definitely have a 5-wave move followed by another 5-wave move. You have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. So, I mean, it does kind of look like a 1, 2 scenario because you have a 5-wave move here, you have a 5-wave move here, and then you have this 5-wave move here. No, I'm just kidding. But you have this 5-wave move followed by a 2, this 5-wave move looks like a 2. If the key invalidation level, this is the key invalidation level. If price declines lower than $17, then it would wipe out the scenario of this being a 1, 2, 1, 2. That would be the invalidation level. I know that's like a huge decline, but this is a 5-wave structure. This is a pullback. This is a 5-wave structure. This is a pullback. This could actually be in an extended third wave, similar to SoFi, being a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that could be the case. I should, but the 2 can go to 100% of 1. It just can't retrace lower than that. So it could come down to $17.42 and then bounce. It just can't go lower than that. However, if this is truly a 1, 2, 1, 2, if this is, I mean, the next target on this thing's $300. So, you know, play with that as you wish. You know, play with that as your risk to reward. I mean, we've already corrected past the 786, so it's already way past, you know, the 786. If this truly is a 1, 2, 1, 2, you know, that could make sense. There's not really anything else that I can see with this other than same with SoFi too, being a 1, 2 and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That just means it's crazy bullish. That just means it's crazy bullish. Yeah, I mean, fundamentally wise, I don't really know much about Oklo, but I think the company I know that y'all always ask about it, so I'm imagining it's got great fundamentals, which could drive an extended third wave. That can drive an extended third wave. And we do have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here with a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So if that's the case, this is crazy bullish then on Oklo. 300 being next, and then you should see a pullback, and then, you know, maybe 400 next after that. MSTR, my next target on MSTR is 950. WTI? What is WTI? Is that oil? Which one? Am I looking at oil? A little oil action? Little Earl. Oklo is making nuclear power plants for data centers. Meta has some billion-dollar deal signed. That could drive an extended third wave right there. That could drive an extended third wave. That's why price might be getting as bullish as it is, which could play into the narrative of an extended third wave. So I'm not discounting that, and it's already at a deep value discount from all-time high. The problem with reading, and that's one of the problems that I have when I'm looking at charts, is the hardest thing to do is identify extended waves because you don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at Oklo, well, I just want to go back to Oklo 1 second to explain sort of my thought process behind it, and then we'll look at that. The problem with extended third waves is you don't know until, like, they happen. I know that's like, well, what the fuck? Like, you're supposed to know that shit. it's really hard to diagnose them because ideally, I don't know when anyone bought Oklo. You know what I mean? I don't know when everyone's cost average is, everything like that. You know, factoring that aside, the time to have bought Oklo was after this 5-wave movement. I know that might seem like, well, yeah, obviously in hindsight, but after if you were paying attention to Oklo, which I wasn't, I just wasn't paying attention to it, but in September 2024, you could have identified this 5-wave move. And I wish I would have been streaming then because I feel like everyone would have mentioned this. And it's really cool too when y'all recommend, when you guys recommend stocks and cryptos that I've just never heard of. And then I pull up the chart. I'm like, oh, wow, this thing's crazy. Like, I want to get into this. So I do appreciate that because you guys are probably doing a lot more research. I mean, I do research, don't get me wrong, but there's just some things that I overlook. And y'all pull up things and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. But like, if you look at Oklo back in 2024, you know, going into 2025, you had a 5-wave move, a pullback to the 0.786 damn near, and then this next move up. So the time to have bought Oklo was on this wave 2 retracement, and you'd be sitting pretty right now because you would have identified this next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. You could have taken some profits here. This decline, you could have said, oh, well, you know, I'm in down here. I've already taken my profits up here. I'm still in the trade. You know, I might hold this thing, right? I might weather it because I'm still up. You know, if you would have entered, you know, at the 0.618, you're still up 84% on your money. So you're like, you know what? I'll weather it. Even if it pulls back, even if it goes past my entry, I can maybe weather that storm and then, you know, wait for the next move up. So again, obviously that's in hindsight. I don't know what everyone's cost average is. I think, you know, after this 5-wave move, buying up here was very risky, given that we've already had a 5-wave move and to expect a pullback. And what you're seeing on Oklo right now is back-to-backs 0.786 retracements. You had a 0.786 here, and then you're already past the 0.786 here. So, you know, having a strategy going into this in hindsight would have been really good. Obviously, I didn't identify this back then, but that's for me what would be next. And it's easier to do so when you identify a 5-wave move first, wait for the pullback 2, and then wait for the next move. You can hold through these extended waves without the fear of, like, you know, the pullbacks, if that makes sense. But it's really hard to determine 5-wave extended moves. It's really hard. Because, like, you identify a 5-wave move, and then you're like, all right, you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're like, okay, you get this ABC, and then you get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're like, okay, you know, is that a start of a bigger corrective wave, right? Is this the ABC, and then this is the A wave, you know, B wave, and then C wave? Actually, wait, that doesn't make any fucking sense. No, I think Oklo is actually in an extended 3rd wave. I might have to buy some. Yeah, because that doesn't make no damn sense. What am I talking about? You get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. Let me just think through this real quick. So you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you get this ABC pullback. Then you get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside with an ABC pullback. Yeah, the only thing that's next is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the only thing that's next. Because even if this is a zigzag corrective movement, you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next move is up, regardless if it's but that can't be a correction because that'd be a weird ass correction. Because then you get this being an A wave, B wave. No, it's extended 3rd. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking. That's an extended 3rd wave on Oklo. So that's really bullish for Oklo. And it seems like SoFi is almost in the same thing too. We'll go. I want to go back to SoFi and look at it one more time. But yeah, I might have to take a position in Oklo because that's looking crazy bullish. I mean, oil. I mean, you have this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up, wave 2. I mean, the commodities move a little bit differently, though. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if you can really... Well, good news to me. Yeah, 100%. I might have to buy some Oklo, looking at that chart. Like, commodities move a little bit different. I don't really know if Elliott Wave Theory is geared for commodities, because it's like, yes, there's a 5-wave move on oil. You know, a 5-wave move here with this wave move, but I don't see oil doing another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up to like, I mean, it could. I just, again, I don't think they would want oil at $200 a barrel. That would fuck the economy. But I mean, this could be a wave 1 with a wave 2 and you get a 3, 4, 5. I just feel like that would be, they wouldn't allow that. I don't think they would allow that. You know, but you do have a 5-wave move here. This is a wave 2. And then you kind of have this right now developing. Even on the weekly, you can look at it on the weekly chart of oil future, crude oil. You have this 1, 2, explosive 3, 4, and then a 5. I mean, technically speaking, it works, but I don't think Elliott Wave Theory is really geared towards like charting oil, if I'm being honest. Or you just buy VeChain for 30x. That's the spirit, Web. I am looking to buy VeChain. Yes, I am looking to buy VeChain. But I mean, Oklo could be a really good spot too. Is buying Oklo right now not a terrible idea? No, it doesn't look like that. Again, not financial advice, but it is looking pretty good. Let's go to PLTR. Yeah, we can do PLTR. I want to go back to SoFi though, because SoFi looks very similar. So I want to go back to SoFi and then evaluate that and see what this. I want to re-look at that because that could also be an extended wave too, which would be very good for SoFi. It's kind of similar to Oklo, just structurally speaking. So PLTR kind of has this structure right now. This being the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then we're in the ABC pullback. So far, we've already pulled back to. Let me just make sure I got that on the top here. Give me a second. Let me go to the weekly. No, I missed it. Yeah, so SoFi's already pulled back with this kind of weird, not weird structure, but we pulled back to the 0.382. You know, we bounced off the 0.382. We've had this ABC corrective wave so far to the 0.382. And we had this sort of bounce. The only problem I'm getting with PLTR right now, or not problem, but you know, that's why I say having a strategy and buying at key levels is important, because you have this ABC down to the 0.32 and then we bounced off of it. So that would be a trigger for me to take my first position. We got this bounce off with this pullback. Now, the only question is this going to be an ABC wave up with an ABC wave down? Or is this going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up to new all-time highs? That's what you're waiting for on PLTR, is to see, is this an A wave, B wave, C wave? And then you'll get another ABC down, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the scenario playing out, if this was to be the bottom, you know, here, the next target on PLTR is 450. That would be my next target on PLTR. The only thing you have to wait for, if we go down to the daily time frame, is structurally wise, what have we had so far? So, I mean, honestly, it really doesn't give us much. It doesn't look impulse. I mean, it like does and it doesn't. I mean, we went from 130 to 150. But, I mean, let's see what the 4-hour shows. I just want to see the difference. I mean, kinda. You know, you have this sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure, this A, B, and then C. But this could be an A wave, this could be a B wave, and then you get a C wave up, and then you get another dump. So that's what you're playing with PLTR, but nonetheless, you have a 5-wave move, and you're in the ABC. I wouldn't be surprised if PLTR corrects further, to be honest, but you know, a good buying position would have been at 129, and then if price comes down to 106, buy again. If price comes down to 82, you know, buy again. And we have seen on Oklo, it can retrace to the 0.786. So these are kind of like my 4 buying zones. Scottish crypto, hell yeah! I got to go to Scotland. I've never been. Hello, how are you? What's up? What's up, Con? How are you? Long oil, simple. Yeah, I mean, it looks like oil does have some more upside to go. But yeah, I mean, as far as PLTR goes, we've had a retrace to the 0.32. We're just waiting to see what price action does off of that level. We've had an initial bounce, had a pullback. Does that have continuation? is going to be the question. You know, do we have a continuation up that's like this, or do we have a sort of continuation like this? That's what's next. But nonetheless, this is a 5-wave move. Once this correction completes, you'll have a move up to 400-ish, 450. Buy at the 786 with serious confluence. 100%. This is such a big, deep value zone. Loading up here, waiting for moves up is, even 0.618 too is big value. I want to go back to SoFi real quick though, because I just want to validate something. Because if Oklo is going to do an extended wave, if Oklo is going to do an extended wave, like look, we were just looking at Oklo, Drew. We were just looking at Oklo. Does it not look similar? Right? Like you had this sort of 1-2, 1-2. Like it looks very similar to Oklo, right? We have this push up, move down, push up, move down. It looks exactly the same. And they both look to have 5-wave movements on it. So like, and I wouldn't be surprised if both of these pull back to the 0.786. I wouldn't be freaking surprised. Let me see. Would you look at that? Pulled right back to the 0.786. I wouldn't be surprised if this also pulled back to the 0.786. Well, I don't know if that's, I gotta look at that on the weekly to determine, but we're approaching, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing hits $13, then we rip. But looking at the weekly time frame, you know, we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure with this ABC. And then looking at this structure, we have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with this ABC. So yeah, I mean, SoFi looks to be in an extended third wave. Same with Oklo. So, I mean, that's good. The next target for me on SoFi, if we bounce here or if we retrace down to like 14, but if we bounce here, it's like $50. So maybe I have something for these kind of charts. If you can continue to find these extended third wave charts, you are going to be the king. You are going to be the man. I'll tell you. If you can continue to find these 3-wave extended, that is a great spot to be in. But yeah, SoFi and Oklo look very similar. It does look like we have a wave 1, a wave 2. We also have a 5-wave movement here with a pullback. So the only explanation for that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll get a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, and a 9. That's essentially how extended waves work. You get this 1, 2, and then you get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get a 4, 5. So we basically have 1, 2, 3. We have 5 waves remaining on SoFi. This thing could get super extended. What is the what's the fundamentals look like on SoFi? What are we working with here? I mean, everything's looking good. You have earnings per share. I mean, everything up. The only thing that's year over year, earnings per share growth 2012 months is down a little bit. Earnings per share quarter over quarter is down 57%. That's crazy. But I mean, as far as everything else, it looks good. I don't really know too much about the fundamentals, but it does look like an extended third wave for sure. Wait till you see hundreds of thousands of Scots light up the World Cup in Boston and Miami this summer. I'm trying to get my wife to get tickets because she can take clients and expense this. I'm trying to get her to get some FIFA World Cup tickets when they come to Atlanta because there's some games that are going to be played in Atlanta. I'm trying to get tickets to that. That'd be awesome. All right, I'm going to do, what do you think about iron? Iron's kind of the same. I did a chart on it a while ago, but iron does have a 5-wave move. I think, yeah, I did this a while ago. I can't remember when I did this, but this was my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move up, and then this ABC. And then I was saying, you know, hey, we're at the 0.618. So for me, iron has a deep retrace right now, which the price target's about 135 from current levels. You know, this is a big ABC, deep value discount on iron. You know, do we see the 0.786? Possibly, but really between $31 to $20 is a great dollar cost average zone based on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure, and then this being the ABC. So between 31 to 20, and then 135 would be the next target on iron. All right, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do one more chart, and then we'll be live tomorrow at the same time too. So I'll be able to cover some more. Let's do XYO. Then we'll do SUI, and then we'll end with Ethereum. We'll do XYO, SUI, and then Ethereum. I'm a Braves and Hawks fan, by the way. Got close friends who live in Roswell. Atlanta's my favorite US city. That's awesome. My wife and I are potentially looking at Roswell as a spot. We're doing some house shopping in Roswell. It's so freaking expensive, though. It's gotten crazy in Roswell. But that's Atlanta in general. Just the real estate market in Atlanta has just been so competitive. But this for XYO looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this being the ABC pullback. So on XYO, my next target on it would be about 13 cents. I don't know what that multiple is here. That's a 36x. Well, I found another 30x. So, I mean, this looks structurally pretty good too from an XYO. I mean, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with this A wave. And then you have a B wave and then this C wave. Yeah, so we're just waiting for impulses here towards the 1.618. Web finds a 30x. Fuck yeah, let's go, baby. Let's make some money. All right, I'm gonna do Ethereum. What was the next? I'm gonna do SUI next because I already have that charted. Then we're gonna do Ethereum, and then I'll be live same time tomorrow. So we'll be able to jump into some more charts because I'm gonna log off here in a little bit. I'm getting tired now, but we'll be live same time tomorrow. I can do SUI real quick because we already have everything mapped out. My next target on SUI is $8.70. This being the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This big ABC, and then we should expect $8.70 on SUI. That's my next target, and we'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to about $8.70. So this is already at a deep value discount. You know, again, with Bitcoin coming down, I do see altcoins probably retracing a little bit more. But from the position that you're in right now with an altcoins, they're already at deep value discount, so it's not necessarily, you know, a bad time to invest in altcoins. Again, you know, don't take my advice, do your own research. Obviously not financial advice, but altcoins are presenting a pretty good risk to reward right now. And then Ethereum is kind of the same thing. You know, we're just waiting for, I'm going to sneeze. All right. So with Ethereum, we have this whole structure on the monthly time frame. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with this ABC. So this is the whole structure on Ethereum. So this was the massive monthly move. And then on the weekly time frame, Jesus, pollen's getting to me. On the weekly time frame, this is kind of what it looks like. We have this A wave, B wave, C wave, and then we have the first impulse off the low. So my next target on Ethereum after this 5-wave move, so this is kind of like shorter time frame what I'm looking at. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with this big decline wave 2. My next target on Ethereum 7,500. If price decides to go down below 1385, this impulsive wave gets invalidated and the wave C just moves over here, and then we wait for the impulse off the low. But 7,500 being my next target on the lower time frame. What's up, Ash? Keep up the lovely work coming. By the time you read, I might have left. Many appreciate you here. I appreciate that, Ash. Thank you so much for the support. We already did Iron. We did Iron. Iron. Wait, were you here? Is that Winnie GCZ? Were you here? I just did Iron. Were you not on? Wait, didn't you request Iron? I just did Iron. I wasn't. Oh, my bad. Yeah, so Iron's already completed a 5-wave move. It's in its ABC. Currently, we're at the 0.618 retracement, so it's already deep value. Really, anywhere between $31 to $20 is a good dollar cost average zone, and then 135 being my next target. Oh, that water just splashed in my eye. But you're right. No harm in small dollar cost average now. Bitcoin, yeah, 100%. I mean, as far as like altcoins present such a good risk to reward right now. They're already like down 80 to 90% from all-time high. And if you would have said that most altcoins would be lower than their 22 lows, I would have said you're crazy. But obviously, price action told the story differently. But we have such a big risk reward trade right now with altcoins. I mean, even Bitcoin's a pretty decent risk reward, but they're so undervalued. And a lot of them have really good fundamentals to them. So, you know, I'm picking up some projects that I like from a fundamental standpoint. I like from a charting perspective. And then from there, you just wait. You know, you be patient, wait till that thing hits your targets, and you make a ton of money. I mean, altcoins will have their day. I think a lot of people are writing altcoins off the chart. They're saying the altcoins are dead. It's only Bitcoin. Wait till those things wake up, and you're going to see crypto influencers going crazy again. But yeah, Iron has some pretty good upside to go after this correction's done. But yeah, I mean, as far as like investing and stuff goes, guys, like having a strategy is really important. Like having a strategy is so important. I can't stress it enough. When you invest in things, like you're never going to time the bottom perfectly. You're never going to time the top perfectly. You're never going to be able to get in and get out at the perfect zones. That's why dollar cost averaging in is important, but also dollar cost averaging out. So on the way up, making sure that you take profits so that you're not sitting there bag holding when that thing does correct. I mean, obviously, technical analysis, wave theory that I use, Elliott Wave Theory, provides good guides, but it's never perfect. It's not going to give you exact prices of when to get in, when to get out. It's just going to provide a visual guide to allow you to see where structure is going. I mean, yeah, you can use it to predict targets and stuff like that, but it's not necessarily going to provide it to 100% certainty. But it works very well for me. It allows me to pick up on undervalued positions and make money. So what are your top 5 alt picks? I'm just stacking Solana, Link, and Bitcoin, small Sui, and Ondo bags. I mean, I kind of diversified a pretty good bit. I mean, I have a lot of XRP. I have a lot of HBAR. I mean, I think those outperformed really early. I like, let's see, I have XRP, HBAR. For me, EOS looks really good. I'm picking up EOS here soon. I think the risk reward looks really phenomenal. We had a really explosive 5-way move followed by this ABC. I do think that EOS is going to be performing pretty well, but I'm only risking about 1 to 2% of my overall portfolio on it. What websites am I using for fundamentals? I'll show you. Let me flip the screen. I'll show you. So, like, that's a really good risk reward. I think Sui will perform very well. You know, that one, I think I don't have any currently, but I might pick up some. VeChain for me, I like, but as far as the top holdings, I have Bitcoin, obviously, Ethereum, XRP. I have a lot of Chainlink, HBAR. Let's see, what other ones do I own? I have a decent amount of Cardano. I kind of scattered them. It's kind of hard to pick, right? With altcoins, I try to stay within the top 100 and pick some fundamentally good ones. But as far as the website I use for like some of my fundamental analysis, I use Token Terminal is what I use. So you can look at, like, you can compare. It's called Token Terminal. I know you guys can't see all of this on TikTok, but I'll show you essentially what, like, we can look at Solana, for example. You can use this to basically look at, you know, their fundamental stuff. So you can see their active addresses. You can see their fees over the past 30 days, their revenue over the past 30 days, their active addresses over the past 30 days. There's a comparison tool somewhere. I just don't know where it is. And you can compare Solana versus other projects. I'm just trying to, is it metrics? Yeah, so the financial, you can see their fees. So you can see like Solana's fees over a period of time. You can see their revenue over a period of time. You can see how they stack up against blockchains. There it is. That's the compare thing. How do I get this whole thing opened? Yeah, here we go. So you can compare like the revenue by blockchains, and it says like revenue by project. You guys can't see it over here, unfortunately, but it shows you like which projects are making the most money. You have Tron at the top, then Ethereum, Solana. Hype is actually up there, Sui's up there, Polygon, Avalanche. Like over weekly revenue growth, Hype is up like 800%. Near Protocol is up a lot. So I use Token Terminal to evaluate a lot of the stuff on a fundamental basis, and then I look at the chart. Can you see inflation? I don't know on Token Terminal if you can. What's the name again? Token Terminal. Token Terminal. is the name of it. It's a free tool. Like, you don't have to, you can just like sign in with Google or create an account and it's free. Yes, I see lower on Tau, short term, and then another move up. Got it. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. All right. I'll do MSTR, and then that'll be the last chart, and then I'm logging off because I'm tired now. So MSTR, I have one more leg down, following Bitcoin on MSTR. So I'm personally picking up MSTR when it hits $100 to $80. That is my zone. When we get into $100 on this next retrace, between $100 to $80 is when I'm going to start dollar cost averaging in, and then my next target is 953 up here at the 1.618, 953. So between 80 to 100, I'll pick it up, and then 953 I'll sell. That's my next targets on MSTR. So. All right, that's going to be, thank you for all you say. I appreciate the support, y'all. I really do. For those of you that are interested, obviously you don't have to, but for those of you that are interested, we do have a free Discord. I'm working on some updates to it. I'm going to have a free Discord, and then for those of you that are interested in coaching program, I've had a lot of people ask for like specific coaching. So I am starting up a coaching program teaching people how to do what I do. It's going to be a lot of mindset training, Elliott Wave training, how to invest, like how do you look at, stuff. So if you're interested in that, I'm starting that program up. I'll be launching that probably this week. And then for the free version of the Discord, I'll be posting like my chart analysis in there. So I'll do a chart, put the analysis in there, but I won't tell you when I buy or when I sell. That's kind of the free version of it. You get the chart, but it's up to you to make a decision. If you want buy and sell signals on both swing trades and long-term investing stuff and want to learn how to do Elliott Wave Theory, that'll be part of the coaching program, and that'll be exclusive for members. So if you're interested in that, feel free to join the Discord. Again, it's free. But if you don't feel like doing any of that, just join the TikTok Live. We do this every day. So take your pick. It's up to you. I got nothing really else to mention today. Those are really the updates for this week, and I'm trying to get the Discord up to date with some new stuff. So I'm excited about that. But I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be live. So I look forward to seeing y'all then, and we'll go through some of the charts we didn't get through today. Hope y'all have a great rest of your night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. And then for those of you that are on YouTube and TikTok and Twitch and all that good stuff, I will see y'all tomorrow as well.